Good morning. My name is Davide Bennato. I will try to use my English to talk about my ideas about what is social innovation. What about me? I am an academic researcher at the Università of Catania. I'm a sociologist and I'm working on big data from a different point of view, actually from an ethical point of view, but also because I'm a researcher, so I would like to use different kind of data for my research. I wanted to start my talk with the concept of Renaissance. Renaissance was an important moment in the history of the humankind because there were a new culture growing. There was a new world expanding, and this world were based on three concepts. The first concept is humanities, the importance of the humanistic culture. The second is a new ideology, a new culture, the mankind at the early center of the universe, the importance of the human being. And the third concept is mathematics. In fact, for example, this is the classical image of Leonardo da Vinci, the Uomo Vitruviano, Vitruvian man. But we can see that the importance of the man in the universe is also a geometric importance, a mathematical importance. For this reason, I will try to stress the concept for the reason why the big data are important for social innovation from 3 points of view. I will try to describe our society from 3 points of view: the society, the data, and the valuescape. Society. Nowadays, society is a new word, a new way to look at relationship of the people. In fact, society, from a monolithic concept, a macro concept, now is conceptualized like an aggregation of social clusters. Different people, different lifestyle, different way to engage each other and relationship each other. In fact, society actually is an emergent property, is the interaction between different components. The first components are people, obviously, because without people we have no society. The second level are technologies, because usually people make relationship with each other using the technologies. And the third level is information, data. And data is an important layer for the growing society of the 21st century. But actually, what does society mean? Society comes from the relationship we have with the others. It's not an imposed concept. It's a relationship we have with the others. We can call it from using a biological concept, an emergent property. This concept is not so new because a great thinker of the 20th century described society in this way. These are the words of an important thinker, is Georg Simmel, an important thinker, and they think that the real word describing his society, the industrial society, was sociability. In fact, we can create actually relationship from different point of view. Our society have a different number of variables. For example, we can create a technological relationship. For example, obviously using the social media, Twitter, Facebook, and whatever. We can create relationship also spatial related. Our relationship usually are related or our physical space, for example, a neighborhood. But there are no relationship if we don't have sharing values. For example, religion and politics. So value-based relationship. And obviously the sum of the three. This is the case of the Social Street project in Bologna, but also in Italy, obviously, the world, and in which people, neighborhood, create a new kind of relationship with each other by using internet and social media. Let's talk about data. Why data? For which reason data are so important for social innovation? Because data are a new layer enhancing our relationships, a new layer. An interpretative layer, for example. In this case, I use the case study of the racial.map, a map using the statistic way to see the society and see also segregation side in the United States. Also a collaborative layer. There is a new relationship between humanities and technologies, the so-called digital humanities. This is a research with big data numbers, but from an important sociological phenomenon, the selfie, the cultural model of the selfie, is a project of Lev Manovich. Also, data are important because they are an algorithmic layer for our relationship. Just a little example, the OkCupid dating site use statistical information to create the best dating site for people, for partners. But also there is a cultural layer. Data are impacting on culture because there is a new way to create content, because culture is based on content, on the value and the way in which we use content to spread values. In this case, I use the example of narrative science. Narrative science is a company that creates a kind of journalistic and news content by using data and artificial intelligence. No human, just technology. The valuescape, the third point of view. Why this strange term of valuescape? In his seminal book, Modernity at Large, the anthropologist Appadurai, he wrote that we have different 5 ways to describe our global culture. The mediascape, the flowing of mass media, the technoscape, the flowing of technologies, the hydroscape, the flowing of ideas and ideologies, the financescape, the global flowing of money, of business, and the ethnoscape, the global flowing of people. But also we need a new, we need a new scape, a new landscape for a data-based society, the valuescape, because we need a new way to create relationship data-based, but also value-based. I think we can describe this new scape in 2 ways. The first is the participation data-based, and the second is the responsibility data-based. Participation. There are different ways of data-based participation. Participation is a micro layer, is an individual layer. For example, there is participation producing data, like in the social sensing. When there is an earthquake, probably people write on their Twitter, their Facebook, there is an earthquake. We can use this information to create a new kind of rescue, a new kind of help for the people. There is also participation by using data. This is a curious case. Leo Grand was homeless and began to learn how to code. And so he created an app for the carpooling, a carpooling app. So there are also a different way to create social inclusion by using data, by using a different valuescape. And also there is a participation by sharing data. For example, the smart communities, the citizen side of the concept of smart city. Also smart city is a classical concept of city as a platform. But there are also different ways for database responsibility. Responsibility is at the macro level, the institutional level. For example, there is responsibility in the management of this data. For example, the administration level. Responsibility also deciding with data. For example, the political level. Responsibility is also monitoring with data. Monitoring. See the things in a new world. a new world way. This is the security level. But also responsibility in making money. Because also the business side have to take seriously the concept of responsibility in a 21st century database society. So, which way we can decline, we can describe the concept of renaissance, social renaissance. It's a mix of value, people, technology, data, in which people are at the very center of this new way to look at the world. Thank you.
Thank you, and we close with Simon.